What's up, Spud Nation? Week 1 Fantasy Football 2013. Thank you all for coming back, and for you new viewers, welcome to Spud Nation. Here we go. I've been getting a lot of tweets, a lot of emails. Everyone is ready for this season to get going. We got our ranking show. Couple strategies. Other than that, pretty straightforward for week 1. So let's get started. I got a tweet from Todd asking a little bit of gamesmanship going on here already, starting the season. He has got Tony Romo, Andy Dalton, and he's playing a guy who has AJ Green. Should he start Andy Dalton as his starting quarterback when normally he starts Tony Romo, just to counteract the production of AJ Green? I said go ahead, roll the dice with Romo, play your stud, although they're going to be ranked very closely. You're talking about a touchdown, probably 50 to 75 yards difference for Romo being more productive this week. So you never want to leave points on the field. It was a great idea, pretty good strategy to try to counteract what AJ Green's going to get, because you know he's going to get his this week. So great question, Todd. Way to go. All right, week 1 rankings. Guys and ladies, we are going straight forward. You drafted studs for a reason. Nothing special this week. You play your studs. You drafted them for this specific reason, to start the season off with a W. So you roll out your big guns no matter what the matchup is. You don't try and get cute with sleepers this week. You play your studs, and you know what? Whatever happens, happens. So here we go, quarterback rankings. 1, Peyton Manning. Pretty straightforward, tons of weapons. Manning should be in the top 5 all season long. Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Brady's going to tear Buffalo apart. I don't care if he's throwing to high school receivers or the receiving core that he has right now. Amendola will help. Brady, still a stud. Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, welcome to the top 5. You're playing the Oakland Raiders. Look for Indy to put a beating on Oakland. Aaron Rodgers, tough matchup, which is why he's ranked number 5 this week. Playing the 49ers, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, Colin Kaepernick. We saw what he did to Green Bay last year. Hopefully they've watched some game film on this guy. Kaepernick could be primed for a huge game. Russell Wilson and Tony Romo round out the top 10. Cam Newton, number 11. Michael Vick. Michael Vick could be the fantasy sleeper of the entire season. That speed up offense, they're going to try and get off twice as many plays as everyone else. We'll see how Vick can handle it. Andy Dalton, number 13. RG3 at number 14. Interesting to see him in his first game action, coming back since the injury. Josh Freeman taking on the lowly Jets. I like Freeman. That's a great matchup. Eli Manning, Alex Smith, Phillip Rivers, Joe Flacco, Matt Schaub, Jay Cutler, Brandon Whedon, Ryan Tannehill, and Christian Ponder. If anyone below the top 24 is on your roster, they're probably not starting this week. Running backs. Number 1, Adrian Peterson. He's the guy. He's going to get all the carries, and you know what? He's just a freak. Marshawn Lynch, Doug Martin, Jamal Charles, Arian Foster. I know everyone's a little worried about Arian Foster. He hasn't played in the preseason. I'm sure they did that for a very specific reason. Arian Foster doesn't need to play in the preseason. He is still a stud, still a beast. You're starting him, and hopefully you got him at great value with like pick 5 this year. If so, pat yourself on the back. CJ Spiller, number 6. Let's see if they really do run him till he pukes. Alfred Morris, number 7. Stephen Ridley, 8. T-Rich, number 9. LaShawn McCoy rounds out the top 10. Maurice Jones-Drew, I'm excited to see what he does in his return. This guy, 2 years ago, was the man at running back. Let's see if he can return to that form this year. Steven Jackson, new home, high expectations from Steven Jackson this year. Ray Rice, number 13. Frank Gore, your steady presence, right there at number 14. Reggie Bush, David Wilson, David Wilson's stock went up when Andre Brown broke his leg. David Wilson now the guy for the Giants. Chris Johnson, Darren McFadden, Matt Forte, Daryl Richardson round out the top 20. Lamar Miller, Monty Ball. I know a lot of juggling going on in the Denver backfield. The offense is still high-powered, high-octane offense. Monty Ball still going to be the workhorse, still going to be the goal line guy. Ryan Matthews, DeMarco Murray until he gets injured. Eddie Lacy. 26-27, you got Vic Ballard, Ahmad Bradshaw. Bradshaw supposedly making his return this week, or debut for the Colts. So let's see what he does. I see a timeshare happening there anyway, so neither one's probably starting for you this week. BenJarvus Green-Ellis, Giovanni Bernard, same thing. Look for Bernard to slowly creep into Ellis's carries this year, as Bernard has looked very good in the preseason. Ben Tate, number 30, Pierre Thomas, Isaac Redman. You're going to see a lot of Felix Jones as well. Rashard Mendenhall, D'Angelo Williams, and Bilal Powell round it out. Those guys towards the end, you're not starting, and if you are starting them, good luck to you this fantasy season. Let's talk wide receivers. Calvin Johnson, number 1, the best there is. Megatron, number 1 receiver overall. No questions asked. He's always going to be in that spot. Dez Bryant, number 2. Demaryius Thomas, number 3. He's still the best receiver in the Denver Bronco receiving corps. They brought in Wes Welker. Eric Decker, still a stud. Manning has plenty of weapons to throw to. Demaryius Thomas, still the guy you want. A.J. Green, number 4. Brandon Marshall, number 5. Roddy White, number 6. It's always a toss-up. Julio Jones, Roddy White. Which one's going to have the big game? Roddy White this week. Let's see. Week 1, Roddy White starts it out right. Danny Amendola, number 7. This is kind of a coin flip right here. Amendola has all the skills he needs. He's Wes Welker, but beefed up. He's athletic. He's got great hands. Now, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver when all's said and done. Tom Brady makes everyone better. Reggie Wayne, number 8. Andre Johnson, number 9. Randall Cobb rounding out the top 10. Randall Cobb has quite the matchup this week, taking on the 49ers, but Aaron Rodgers looks to him early and often, and the Packers get very creative in how they use Randall Cobb's abilities. Julio Jones, Colston, number 12. Vincent Jackson, 13. Victor Cruz, Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne Bowe is kind of a coin flip as well this year. He's got all the skills, all the ability. He's got a new quarterback in town. Hopefully that'll help. Dwayne Bowe, kind of a risky guy on draft day, but he could pay big dividends in the long run. Larry Fitz, same situation. All the talent in the world. He finally has a quarterback in town. Fitz owners, let's hope for the best. Eric Decker, 17. Jordy Nelson, 18. T.Y. Hilton, that's 2 Colts in the top 20. Andrew Luck, primed to have a big season. Mike Williams, number 20. Cecil Shorts, 21. Steve Smith, 22. There's Welker, Wes Welker, number 23. Torrey Smith, the Ravens need someone to throw to. Torrey Smith has his huge games, then he dies out for a couple games. We need to see some consistency out of Torrey Smith. Tavon Austin, we have a rookie here. Let's see how the Rams use him. He was a hot topic coming in on draft day. Everyone loved him. The Rams talked about getting him the ball in a multitude of fashions. Let's see how they use this kid. 26, Antonio Brown. Deshaun Jackson. Anquan Bolden. Mike Wallace, the speedster, went to Miami, got a big contract. Let's see if the Dolphins can use this guy. Pierre Garcon rounds out the top 30. Chris Gibbons, Miles Austin, Mohamed Sanu. I sing this guy's praises. I love what he brings to the table. A big, athletic guy. The Bengals look for him in the red zone. It'll be a great compliment to A.J. Green. Malcolm Floyd, Lance Moore, Hakeem Nicks. This is a big name ranked down on the rankings board this week. He just hasn't clicked. Injury prone, and he looked awful during the preseason. Sidney Rice, number 37. Alshon Jeffrey. Now this is a guy who looked great in the preseason. Cutler needed another target to go to. He's got Brandon Marshall. Now let's see if he can spread the wealth a little bit. DeAndre Hopkins, he still hasn't cleared his concussion test. Let's see if he'll be in the lineup this week. Kenny Britt, number 40. Cordero Patterson, I love this kid. He's got Christian Ponder as his quarterback. It's kind of a bummer right there. But Patterson, Randy Moss comparisons are always a good thing. James Jones for the Packers at 42. And then we have Kenbrell Tompkins. This kid for the Patriots, he came onto the scene. He busted onto the scene more or less. Number 2 in New England. This is big stuff. If you haven't heard about Kenbrell Tompkins, run out there, pick him up. He's going to pay off in the long run, especially if Danny Amendola gets injured. Tight ends, here we go. Pretty straightforward right here. Jimmy Graham, number 1, no questions asked. Jason Witten, Tony Gonzalez, and here comes the big curveball of the summer. Zach Sudfeld, New England Patriots, undrafted, free agent rookie right here. Again, Tom Brady loves his tight ends. Gronk is hurt. Aaron Hernandez, well, he went on a little bit of a killing spree. So, here we go. We have a guy who looks exactly like Rob Gronkowski. They're going to use him like they use Aaron Hernandez. This has got humongous potential written all over him. Keep an eye on this guy, Zach Sudfeld. Antonio Gates, number 5. He came into camp. He was in shape. He's determined. And he is the only guy Phillip Rivers has to throw to. Should be a nice season for Antonio Gates. Vernon Davis, Greg Olsen, Jordan Cameron, Owen Daniels, Jared Cook. There's your top 10 for the tight ends. Kyle Rudolph, he's a red zone monster. Brandon Myers, change of scenery for this guy. Better team, better quarterback, should turn into better numbers. Jermichael Finley, if he can hold onto the ball, he's going to put up big fantasy points. Brandon Pettigrew, Jermaine Gresham, Martellus Bennett, Fred Davis, Julius Thomas. This is a name that should eventually climb on most rankings each week. It's just, he plays for Denver. They have so many offensive weapons. I just feel like he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Mercedes Lewis, and rounding off the show is Brent Selleck. Now keep in mind, Brent Selleck had his best days when Michael Vick was at quarterback. Let's see if they connect again this year. All right, Spud Nation, you know how to get at me. Email craig@thesportscoach.com. You can find me on Twitter @thesportscoach. Facebook, any way possible, any way you guys have questions, I answer them. Guys, week 1, fantasy football, love it, get excited, hope you're all ready, prepared, and going to get that W. Till next time, we're out.